Hello kiddos, how are you today? Today we're gonna see the difference and characteristics of the cubes and the rectangular prisms. So, let's start. As you know, the cubes and the rectangular prisms are both three-dimensional shapes. They are 3D shapes. Remember, a 3D shape is a shape that actually takes a space in our world. It has a body. You can touch it, feel it, and it's, this. So that's a three-dimensional shape. Now, the cube, let's talk about the cube. The cube is related to squares. So, as we know, the square has 4 equal sides, the same as the cube. Since it is made of squares, it has 6 faces, and the 6 faces are squares, which means they are equal faces, and it has 8 vertices. Just like the rectangular prism, it has 8 vertices, 6 faces, but in the case of the cube, the faces are squares. All of them are squares. They are equal, and they measure the same. You can measure with your ruler to prove that you have a cube. Some examples of cubes would be, for example, I have these shapes game box, which is my baby's actually. She's starting to play with different shapes and the dimensions and stuff. But this is a cube because it has a square face in all the sides. Okay, they are the same. So how many faces does this cube have? It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, they have 6 faces, flat faces. I can put it in a surface and it's gonna stay because they are flat faces. So this is a cube and it has how many vertices? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 vertices. Another example of a cube I have at home is a little toy that is like, well, it's a cube, right? It's the ones that you can play with, join it, and make some other shapes and figures. And this is the same. It has squares as faces, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 faces, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 vertices. A dice. I don't have a dice, but it's a really common thing that you have to play some board games. A dice, it's also a cube. It has 6 squared faces and 8 vertices in the body. Then we're gonna go to talk about the rectangular prism. As the name says it, a rectangular prism is made of rectangles, rectangular prism, right? So if I see something like a cube, but it has a longer side than the other, it's a rectangular prism. Like this box of this doll is a rectangular prism. Even though these two shapes that have in the two sides are squares, the others are rectangles, and they are not similar, and they are not, sorry, these two are not equal, and They are not all the same. It can be longer or shorter, and they still not being squares. So these are rectangular prism. This is a rectangular prism, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flat faces, 6 faces, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 vertices, just like the cube. But the difference is that this is a rectangle. They are not all squares. This is one example of a vertex. This is small. They can be smaller, bigger, longer, shorter. This is another rectangular prism. It's a wood toy. It's made to make different figures as well. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 vertices. You can see it there. And as well as the other, this has 2 squares and 4 rectangles, but they are flat faces, so we count them together. A book can be a rectangular prism, even though the rectangles are not the same size, still being a rectangular prism because it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 flat faces, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 vertices. The same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 vertices, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 flat faces. And this is a rectangular prism too. We have many things or objects at home that you can relate to these shapes. So I want you to go around, look around your house, and I want you to think if it's a rectangular prism or it's a cube. If you're not very sure, so sure about it, you can use your ruler or a meter that your mom may have to measure the sides of the object. So for today, it's all, guys. I hope you like the video. Remember, if you have any doubt, I'll be around in the call center, and I'll see you tomorrow in the Zoom session. Goodbye.